How do you build a windproof brand activation pavilion on a Paris rooftop and actually get the permits? This was our challenge for Paris Fashion Week, and here's exactly how we did it. To get the building permits, the dome had to withstand 100 km/h winds, have fire resistant certifications, and a quick install fixing system that allows temporary assembly without damaging the foundation. The first big challenge for this project was wind. Because the pavilion was installed on a rooftop terrace, it was exposed to much stronger wind forces than a typical ground level installation. To combat this, the pavilion was assembled around reinforced steel arcs, which act as the main ribs of the tunnel. Each arc was assembled from multiple curved steel elements connected together using a steel connector plates. Arcs were then positioned on the terrace and anchored in place one by one along the length of the pavilion. Afterwards, the stainless steel tubes were connected between them using bolted joints. This is how the stainless tube system looks. Here we're adding the tubes to the frame. As more tubes are added to the pavilion, it gradually becomes stronger and more stable. The diagonal layout prevents the tunnel from twisting or moving during strong winds. After the main frame was completed, the rounded sections were constructed separately. These end sections were constructed only with tubes to create a curved geometry at both ends of the pavilion. This completed the frame, giving the pavilion its aerodynamic tunnel shape. The next challenge was the fixing system. In Paris, rooftop event structures can only remain installed for up to 3 months at a time. However, the client wanted to reuse the pavilion multiple times throughout the year. To solve this, we developed a custom fixing system that allows the pavilion to be repeatedly installed and assembled and disassembled while the system remains anchored to the terrace without damaging the foundation, as you can see right here. Here is how the fixing system looks. The frame itself is built entirely from stainless steel parts. Unlike painted steel structures, the surface does not scratch during repeated assembly and disassembly. This allowed the client to operate fully temporary event pavilion that could be reinstalled for future events. The final challenge was the PVC cover system. The membrane had to comply with strict fire safety regulations for temporary event structures. To meet these requirements, we used a certified fire-resistant PVC membrane approved for event and hospitality use and provided a certificate for the client that was approved by the municipality. Once the PVC cover was positioned on the frame, it was tensioned and fixed around the structure using stainless fixing elements and reinforced connection details. The result is a rooftop event pavilion that meets strict wind load and fire safety requirements, while creating premium panoramic guest experience. At the same time, the structure remains fully temporary and reusable for future installations and events. The price of this tunnel pavilion is 40,450 euros. The length is 17.5 meters, width is 7 meters, and height is 3.54 meters. Floor area is around 115 square meters. And total weight is 1,880 kilograms. Tent is panoramic on sides and it has a cream cover on top to provide shade. The dome also had 4 entrances and it was lifted on the terrace using a crane. If you're interested in the pavilion, I will leave a link to our tunnel dome collection. We can build any size dome for your custom event, or alternatively, you can book a call with me below and we'll talk about your project. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.